Hidden Object Guru here, joined by...
The Gun Wrangler.
Back to talk more genre television. This week, two space TV shows and only one spy TV show. So it's a big twist for us.
Yep. It's definitely something a little novel. Something I don't think our two viewers are accustomed to.
I know,
Like,
so let's...
Can they adapt? Do they
let's
have
see
the
how they
capacity?
like it. Yes, first off, obviously, I watched The Expanse episode 3, which continues to impress. I know that I'm not saying anything that you don't already know. Really, one thing that confused me right away. So Wyndham Earle was in this episode, and it honestly, based on the way he and Shora Agdaleshu were talking in circles, I'm like, sorry, is he Earth's ambassador to Mars or Mars' ambassador to Earth? And
He's Earth's ambassador to Mars.
yeah,
And he's moving to Mars because he likes it so
because
damn
he likes
much.
it so much, exactly. Yeah, but it was just his connections really did make it seem like he was more on Mars's side, which raises the question of, well, whose side he's on. But I understand that going native is an issue for for ambassador characters, and they openly explain that's what's going on with him. He loves Mars, and he's always loved Mars. And all of the time he spent there has made him, truly adore Mars. And then, of course, that all gets ruined, but, them's the breaks when you're trying to stop a war.
Yep.
But
Shit
yeah,
happens in the hood sometimes.
I know. But again, really, really good episode. A lot of interesting character stuff. We got a lot more of the... I know it's an easy thing to do if you want to establish characters, to have them all get interrogated in a room. But it's a really good scene of people getting interrogated in a room.
It's the second best
Device?
incidents. No, second best incidents I've seen ever of people getting interrogated in a room.
Really? What is your favorite incident of people getting interrogated in a room?
Firefly.
Yeah, Firefly was great.
That goes without saying. But
But no, that's good. Personally, I don't know if it's my favorite, but maybe top 3 or 4 favorite interrogated in a room is when the Watchers show up in season 5 of Buffy.
oh yeah, no, that's also pretty good.
That's an amazing hour of television. Just like the check-in with everyone. I thought that was pretty brilliant. I adored that. I love Buffy the Vampire Slayer, don't get me wrong, but I could never get over they kind of lost me in season 6. And I like a lot of season 7, don't get me wrong. They kind of lost me in season 6 for one reason, which is, why is Buffy working at a fast food restaurant?
Hey, she's a slayer. She's not financially independent yet.
No, but that's my point, which is, like, I understand you want to have the metaphor of trying to make ends meet, it being rough, but it's really conflicting with the world in which the show is set. Like, she should be getting a paycheck for being the Slayer. Now, I know Slayers don't normally last as long as her, but you have to recognize that she needs free time to slay, so she can't be doing a 9-to-5 job. Just full stop. And the fact that the show doesn't seem to acknowledge that and has to have, freaking Giles come in with his own money and give her a check to survive is kind of ludicrous.
It is.
But that, again, it was when the metaphor of the show kind of started fighting the reality of the show, it really bothered me. But I still love the show. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about how quickly they killed off Tom Jane's sidekick. They did not waste any time with that. Oof.
Can I give a spoiler?
Okay, go.
Not dead.
Really?
He is just very badly hurt.
He got impaled through the heart with a spear. And that's
People
the
have
end
been
of the
impaled
episode.
through the brain with things and they've survived.
That's true. I can't debate that point. That does happen in real life. But oh my god, so he's back next week.
No.
Oh, no. It's going to be a couple of weeks?
It's going to be a couple of weeks, I think.
Okay.
I don't know. That particular episode is not particularly fresh in my mind.
Okay.
I actually watched the next episode because
That's a big one?
Oh yes.
All right. Well, we'll be back next week to talk the next episode. You don't have You don't have to tease it too much. I can wait. But yes, it's obviously a lot of table being set this week. We get a little bit more information about the journey. We meet Lane Price's character. I can never remember the actor's name. He was Lane Price on Mad Men.
Sorry. Do you remember what he does?
Oh no, he's the guy who put her on the ship, who put the rich girl on the ship that got that laid the trap. He's the fixer down by the docks.
Oh, Anderson Dawes.
That's it. Okay, and I was okay. I know this is a weird thing to fixate on, but I was blown away by the accent he went with, because he's like, I am a white British guy, and the accent I have chosen to do for this character is racist Chinaman stereotype. That was a big... I know it's not exactly that. I know it's got its own character, but so many of the inflections are specifically drawn to what in the 60s through 90s you would ask James Hong to do were he playing a Chinese immigrant. And it's so weird and so alien. And I may have to cut together comparisons to convince you of this, but I swear to God, what he and his dialect coach came up with was Asian guy, how movies decided Asian people used to sing.
What I got was South African trying to pronounce Farsi desperately.
That is definitely another valid description. But yeah, no, I came away with Asian. That's what I got from it.
I definitely got a South African vibe with okay, I'm South African, but half of what I'm pronouncing is Farsi. There's a little Filipino in here. It's just...
First off, the language is called Tagalog. But yes.
Tagalog. Yeah.
The best language in the world.
Oh my
God. It has less words than any other language. It's a fascinating language. Less words and very few letters. It's just amazing. It's like less words than almost anything but Hawaiian. I love seeing that actor show up. He's fantastic. He's
going to be a fixture. Don't worry.
Oh, I was going to ask you. We're going to be seeing more of him, right? And I'm glad to hear we are.
He's actually one of the series as a whole's biggest movers and shakers.
Really? Well, I'm not surprised. I mean, he is established as being a big wheel in the Belter Underground. So as long as we keep here on Sari's station and these politics, unless he got killed right away, I was expecting to see more of him. But
no, he's actually... Excuse me.
Yeah.
He's the equivalent of Arisvala for the belt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. That's going to be very interesting then. Okay.
Yeah.
What I loved, though, he was fantastic. But the thing that really bothered me is, I'm sure you, we've talked about it, so you watched Fringe.
Yes.
What really bothered me about his character on Fringe, he was great on Fringe. This is not a criticism of his on Fringe. He was great. He did a great job. What bothered me about Fringe is all of these characters are walking around saying his name over and over again, David Robert Jones, and not one of them is like, isn't that David Bowie's real name? Like, not one of them ever mentioned that, because
true.
The payoff for his character should be, in Earth B, this is what David Bowie did with his life. He didn't become a rock star, he became a science terrorist. And that should have been the message. And I'm sure that's the subtext of the character, but they should have made it text. That's what I'm saying. And that always disappointed me from the characters, like, from the first time we heard the character's name to when he died, by getting cut in half by having a door of reality close on him, which is one of the best ways for a character to die. Like, if you're going to top 5 ways to kill off a villain, having a door in reality close on them is a really good way to kill off a villain.
It's up there.
It's very high on that list. First time I saw it was a little game called Ultima 7, but it's been great ever since. All right, but yes, back to the show. But you're right that there's not a lot of stuff to dig into this week. The check-in stuff with all the characters is great. We find out that one of them was a Martian pilot, and so that's why he was... Because we noticed he was very reticent last week to believe that, Mars was trying to kill them. And now we know that he is, in fact, a Martian, and he flew with the Martian Navy for 20 years. So yeah, he's got a reason to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, he,
Yeah, it's
not. He's not like, oh well, it couldn't have been them. He's like, I really doubt it.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's not, and he's not blind with his allegiance to them or anything like that. He just seems like a reasonable guy. Although they do have the nice touch of, from a psychological, in trying to get them all to turn on each other, they do give him a Martian uniform to make everyone turn on him, which is a nice thing from a psychological standpoint for them to do. So the interrogator, what's the drug he's taking? It seems like it's a thing to super focus you, something along those lines.
That's essentially it.
Okay, yeah, because it focuses him so he can notice minor twitches to tell if people are lying to him, or see what people are reacting to and what he's saying, right?
Yeah, it's essentially that.
Okay.
So.
That's interesting. And so, I mean, I think there's enough... Well, yeah, I'm sure it's explained more in the book, but there's more than enough within the show to make that clear. Okay, are you having trouble getting this scissor lift to work, or...?
Yeah, it sort of jammed on something, which I think was my body.
Okay, well, bring it back down. You want to move it a little further away from the wall, just to be safe?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's probably for the best. So yeah, it wasn't a huge episode. There wasn't a lot of big revelations or anything like that, but it's still a lot of good content. I was very interested in what's going on in the show. And again, every episode of this show just makes me want to see another episode of this show. It's tough to not just binge straight through it. I want to do this week by week and have the experience of someone seeing it for the first time, because normally I would just sit down and 3.5 hours later I would have watched the whole season.
Yeah.
Because I watch everything at, 2.5 times speed. You can get through a lot of televisions really fast when you watch everything at 2.5 times speed.
You're history's greatest monster.
I am history's greatest monster, but
Also, how do I unjam this? Oh, there we go.
You got it. You got it. But you didn't get on it in time. Do you want to get on it and then I'll press the button? It's
jammed.
It is jammed. Can you pick it up and move it?
No, not while it's jammed.
What is happening with this thing?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Did you try punching it? All right, so you get on the thing, and I'll push it. Oh no, wait, you can get it. Let me try getting on it.
Yeah, okay. You.
I'll get
your business.
Oh wait, hold on. There's a ramp. No, there's not a ramp. Whoa, whoa, whoa! I'll try using it, and while you do something else.
Yeah.
All right, so. Ooh, I'm going up. Nice. I hate this so much. I hate it so... You have no idea how much I hate this thing. All right, but yeah.
The blood?
Okay, I'm going to pick it up.
No,
I'm going to pick it up and move it further away.
Okay.
And then you go up with it. Hopefully it won't get jammed anymore.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, so let's move on to Counterpart, which is... Did it... Oh, no, it didn't jam this time. All right, it was just too close to the wall.
Yeah.
That actually, it kind of heartens me to know that is all that was wrong. Can I just say, much as I love the spaceship, right? Much as I'm enjoying the spaceship missions, and I know that's 90% of what this game is, am I the only one who thought they really came into their own on their experimental levels?
Yeah.
I really feel like Santa, what's the other one? The House of Horrors, Shadow Warrior, they really impress me in a way that this is not as impressive to me. And maybe it's just because, those settings are usually more interesting to me, but I think on another level, I think they might be more interesting to the developers as well.
That would be my suspicion, yes.
I think if instead of focus, I think there's a possibility this game might have done better if instead of having all of the base levels be on, a series of spaceships and stuff, every level had been a different video game type of parody
or a holiday.
or a holiday, or do a bunch of horror levels and a bunch of holiday levels and a bunch of video game parody levels. Like they might have had a better reaction. I can't say for sure. I'm not a marketing genius, but I think there's a chance. So, Counterpart, episode 5. Unlike with you being an expert on the Expanse, we're both watching this for the first time. So it was basically table setting the episode.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with it. We did get to see a lot more, and I mean, some of it was pretty upsetting, but...
Yep. We found out an interesting touch. So how it works is there are basically 2 types of people who come over. Your professionals and your murderers, like the main lady and Baldwin. And then there are the sleepers who don't try to replace anyone important. They just replace random people. Like people they can get away with killing and replacing. And then they kill and replace their alters. And then they just sit there in the world waiting to be activated to do something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and those are the people who are being picked in the school, which is an interesting idea. And I gotta say, the school must be a really risky proposition, because you gotta pick these people when they're young enough for you to brainwash and train to be murderers. So, what if the person on the person they're supposed to, be the sleeper agent version of on the other side, ends up becoming a criminal or getting killed in a car accident? That's a huge waste of time and resources.
No, because you still got this trained murder machine you can send over.
That's true for regular missions, yeah. Because
for
it's
regular
interesting.
Murders.
Yeah, because Baldwin never could have been sent over for replacement duty, because she could not have believably pretended to be her alternate self.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so this is an interesting way to show that there's different factors to this. There's different layers of their plan. I like that stuff. For the first time, we saw alters who just get along, who are just, who just like each other.
Yeah, who are cool.
And I like the idea that if you're okay with who you are, you would get along fine with another version of yourself. Because why wouldn't you?
Possibly even marry it.
Exactly. Like, why not? Why not live in a weird threesome relationship with your alternate version? Because you both like the same things. You're both going to get along really well.
And shit, if you're married already, your husband's going to get along with you. Guess what?
Exactly. It was such a beautifully designed scene. And, I mean, it's such a likable set of characters. I hope it wasn't an elaborate plant. She wasn't an elaborate plant. Although, honestly, the stuff she comes up with, like, it sounds like all the stuff she said about the school is clearly true, right? And from what we've seen, there's got to be a high-level mole on our side of the planet, on our side of the rift, or else none of this could have been accomplished. So we have every reason to believe she's 100% telling the truth on all of the stuff she gave them.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is very nice, and I just love Quail, just the casual, like, penny pinching dickishness of Quail, to be surprised at what a nice house she lives in.
Yeah.
It's like yeah.
So you turn someone. Why aren't they living in, like, the most ghetto apartment we can find?
I know, and it's like, well, why?
Better yet, can we put them in a box, like a refrigerator box somewhere?
I know, and it's like, I just love his reaction, which is what we asked her to do something for us. She did it for us. Of course, she got. Oh, god damn it! All right, I don't think I can destroy these giant containers.
Yeah,
you
can.
Put them off to the side. You can.
You cannot. Just
you
put
cannot.
Okay. Put them somewhere and be neat about it, and we should be okay.
Okay, well, as long as that's it. But yeah, I really like that, because it's like, yeah, why would we be anything but kind to, why would we not come through on the deals we've said we're going to make with people? Because, by the way, that's how you get people to make deals with you. You show to them that you've successfully made deals with other people, and everybody came away happy.
Well, that's how we turned a lot of real-ass Soviet agents in the 60s and 70s. We gave them their Jordache jeans and their Coca-Cola.
Wow. Well, no, we gave them good lives in America,
No, we gave them mediocre lives in America, but they lived, this was the equivalent of living like kings in Russia.
That's true. That is absolutely true. I gotta say, I kind of feel like it should have been more than 7% of the planet was killed. Like,
I think they lowball that.
You think? Because they say 500 million people, 7% of the planet. I'm like, unless most of those people were in Europe, like, that place is vacant.
Yeah.
There is nobody on the street. Like, I really feel like that was an extremely lowballed number. And I like that it was just a flu. I mean, maybe it was genetically engineered flu, but flus are really bad.
Well, like, the last big flu killed 10% of the planetary population.
I know.
So this was not an outlandish number at all.
Yeah, it's not a crazy idea, and I really enjoyed that. But this is basically an entire episode about, setting the stage. He wants to reconnect. He wants to connect with the daughter he should have had. On the other side, we find out that in all likelihood she was cheating on her version of Howard, and this disillusions Howard.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's nice. And we get a little more about what Pope's up to. And then Pope tries to come to Howard, which is nice. I really enjoyed that scene.
Mm-hmm.
I did put a letter in the lamppost, and he's like, and just the look he gives Stephen Ray. And it's like, oh, so you're not a spy at all, is the look he gives him back.
Yeah, he's just like...
You know none of this stuff.
And it contrasts very nicely to the episode before where they show just how involved it is.
How detailed it is. Yeah. Oh, to get across, I know. Yeah, it's pretty beautiful. I thought that was a very well done little segment. And yeah, it shows you the comedy works. Great. And again, with the other character with the doubles, they really show that they're doing a great job with every character, and they've locked down how they're going to film the double acting, which I really like. Although I don't know what do you think the odds are that they got a bunch of sets of identical twins on this show?
I'd say extremely low.
Okay, because I hope there's some identical twins showing up.
That'd be nice. Interesting, because there's what about counterparts who are twins?
That would get confusing fast. It's every now and then you hear about an actor as an identical twin. I don't remember the actress's name, but first off, everyone knows Linda Hamilton has a twin, which is weird because
I didn't actually know that.
Oh, you didn't know that? Yeah, that's how they're able to do that scene in Terminator 2 so well. That the one who's not talking is Leslie Hamilton, her identical twin.
Huh.
Yeah, and oh my god, and here's how bad casual sexual harassment was in the past, which is Arnold Schwarzenegger tells a funny story on the DVD or an interview. One time, I snuck up on Linda Hamilton, and I reached around and I honked her breasts. But then it turned out it was our identical twin sister who I'd never met, and I was so embarrassed because I would only, startle a woman by honking her breasts from behind if I knew her. You're a dirtbag, aren't you, Arnold Schwarzenegger?
This kind of goes back. Rachel
it's fine. Keep going. Make the point.
Makes a point that, norms are different now. Yeah. For instance, in the 60s, almost everyone had undiagnosed PTSD and alcoholism.
Yep. Basically everybody. Yeah.
Almost literally everybody.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people went through that war. They had 2 really nasty wars back to back, and everybody dealt with it by drinking. No.
3.
No, in the 60s. There weren't 3 back to back in the 60s.
No, there was...
Yeah, you had all
Korea
of the people. You had all the people from World War II. Then you had all the people from Korea, and then they were all so drunk and PTSDing. They said, "Screw it, let's have another one." And Vietnam happened.
Yeah,
but that was the end of the 60s. Yeah. Oh man, you're absolutely right. The norms were different back then, but it was a crazy thing to hear. And apparently, there's an episode. I don't remember the brown-haired assistant DA on on Law and Order. She has an identical twin sister, and she got a really bad flu one week.
Mm-hmm.
And rather than shut down the show, like she was
called in her sister?
No, she sent in her sister.
Wow.
And didn't tell anybody. And just sent in her sister to be on the show for that week. And the funny part is, she's told this story, and she's like, I'm not going to tell you which episode that was. Because nobody knows which episode it was. Because apparently her sister's just as good an actress as she is. Not that being on Law & Order required a lot of acting.
Oh, damn it.
It's basically just exposition the show. What?
No, I poked, like, there was some blood on the roof, so I hit it. And this grate came down, and there was
parts flew everywhere? Yeah.
Yes.
That's the kind of surprises they pull here. Hey, where did you get that lamp?
Which one?
I saw you were using the lamp. Did you get it from a dispenser, or was it just lying around?
It was just lying around.
Okay,
I turned it on.
I'll go bring it to the dark hallways and make sure there's no blood left.
Yep.
Because I think we're pretty much done.
I'm not so sure. You need to start looking up.
Oh, you're saying there's going to be more ceiling stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll check around. Oh, yeah, I see it now.
Yep.
Gah! Got another one of those body parts dispensers. So, yeah, it's a solid episode. There's nothing wrong with the episode, but it's not spectacular because it's just about getting us ready for the second half of the season. For the mole hunt is the guy's father-in-law an evil version of himself who replaced him? Who can say? But the point is, there's a director-level spy in the organization covering for all of this. I mean, it's probably not his father-in-law, because his father-in-law is like the Secretary of State of this organization. He's the head diplomat, and the head diplomat weirdly would not be that great a person to replace. Like, you'd think it would, because you could get better deals, but what you really need is to be able to get agents in, and the diplomat is not in a position to make that happen. So it's almost certainly not Toby from The West Wing. But we'll see. And it's probably not him, but again, we'll see. It would be very weird if it turned out to be Quayle.
Yeah.
Like, I know that if it were him, he would have to play along the way he's playing along. And it's not like we've seen any of his interior life, so we can say, oh, well, we know what he's like in private, so it's definitely not him. Here's the extent of what we know about his interior life. He cheats on his wife all the time. That's literally all we know. Ugh! I hate it when they won't give you a bucket. But yeah, it's still a good episode. It's just not the kind of amazing episodes we've had for the first 4 weeks.
Yeah.
This is just a functional episode, the kind of functional episode we need. But,
it's not the one we want.
We're waiting for the good stuff now.
Yeah.
All right. So, now the big deal. We have both finished Star Trek Discovery Season 1. We are now completely on board and ready to.
We have finished the show because
You're not going back for Season 2.
No, I will.
You will.
Please don't make me.
Okay, well, all right, so here's the thing. So first off, once again, I'm going to be way more positive than you about the show. I think, first off, this show has had 2 good reveals, which was nice. One, that Ash was a Klingon who over the course of the show, in an interesting thing, essentially total recalled the situation, which is the rare thing that happens in fiction when an implanted personality takes over the body. Because that's what happened to him. They stole all of Ash Tyler's memories and put it in Vok, and the other personality ended up in control, which was an interesting twist. And it's how you can keep the character around. But yeah, the big reveal that the show has been waiting for since the show started, that this whole show was kind of built around, is that Jason Isaacs is from the mirror dimension. And that's why he's such an asshole.
He's not such an asshole. He was like the only redeeming factor on this. Oh, wow, there's a lot of body parts up here.
Okay. He's been a fantastic performance. He's great on the show.
He seems to be the only one who seems to accept reality, which is nice.
Yeah.
It's a very quaint It's a nice change of pace here.
But yeah, he's the bad guy, it turns out.
He's not even the bad guy. He's more like, it's more of a lateral movement.
Yeah, it's interesting because the weird part is I'm so much on board with this guy, and the thing is, fundamentally, Jason Isaacs' character is a product of his world. And the weird part is, I don't understand why they, on some level, I don't understand why they can't just turn the Empire over to Jason Isaacs.
Well, I'm going to go with, spoiler alert, he's fucking dead.
No, I'm saying in that episode. It's like, why is she... I'm like, I understand why she's teaming up with Michelle Yeoh, because she's still obsessed with Michelle Yeoh, whichever Michelle Yeoh it is. But between the two of them, I think I would rather have Jason Isaacs in charge. He's not eating people and, like, gloating about it the way she is.
It's the difference between Space Stalin and Space Hitler.
Yeah, it really is.
Like
I'm not saying there's a good option here. They're not going to destroy... I mean, it's not going to be until evil Spock destroys the Federation. Sorry, the Empire. That's going to happen in 15 years.
Yeah.
Right, so we're going to have a wait for that to happen. Which is awesome. You know? No complaints there, but until then, it'd be fine with me. Oh, hold on a second.
Okay.
I have no idea who that is. Just going to take 5 seconds so we can edit this later. I'm going to make a note of when this happened. Okay, 31 minutes. Sorry about that. Yes, I mean, I'm not saying either one is a good option, but it's this weird situation where it's like, I don't know why she's fighting so hard against Jason Isaacs. Like, can't you just cut a deal with Jason Isaacs? And then it turns out he had a romantic fixation with her, so she couldn't cut a deal with him. But it's not like she knew that to start with. Like, she goes in assuming that she can't make a deal with Jason Isaacs, and her better move is to make a deal with Michelle Yeoh, who, you know, I would not trust as far as I could throw. She's a monster.
When I say Space Hitler...
Oh, yeah.
That's not...
It's not a compliment.
It's not
an exaggeration. No, it's not. She genocides people. That's what she does.
She genocides people regularly, engages in eating sentient people.
Yep.
Because
she enjoys that they fear her. That's why the fear ganglion is the most delicious part.
Yep.
Jesus Christ, this show.
But beyond that,
very gross.
Later on in the season, let's skip aside the fact that we don't know what happened to regular Lorca.
Oh, he's doing fine.
Where is he then?
He's somewhere in the mirror dimension. Because they have this one line, which is that it's doubtful that he must be dead, because it's doubtful one of our Federation captain could have survived the mirror dimension. And I'm like, Kirk did just fine when he ended up in the mirror dimension. In fact, Mirror Kirk got caught right away because he was, such an asshole. But no, because you got to remember, within that world, so what happens is he's on their version of the Baran, right? So he's on the... Oh, God damn it. I smashed it against a wall, sorry.
I got it.
Oh, thank you. Right, he's on their mirror version of their Baran. They're involved in a chase. He tried to teleport somewhere, maybe to escape cowardly, who knows. As they were flying into an ion storm during the chase, and that ion storm swapped it so their version, who was teleporting at our version, who was teleporting at the same time for other reasons, got swapped. So they ended up on each other's ships. And at that time, but the thing is, they were actively being chased by the Empire. And as we know from the first episode of them ending up in the mirror dimension, nobody thinks he's dead. So obviously that chase didn't end with his version of the Baran getting blown up. Because nobody in the Empire thinks he's dead. They all think he got away. Which means our Lorca did get away.
Oh, that's good.
He may be back next season. I'm not saying immediately, but I'm saying we can get more Jason Isaacs if they decide to go down that road.
Are we sure that we're getting another season?
Oh yeah, no, they've already renewed it.
Oh my god.
Like, they renewed it like halfway through the season. Something can always happen, but we're getting another season. All right, so let's just say that I really enjoyed Jason Isaacs. I really enjoyed just openly villainous Jason Isaacs. I thought that it had one of the silliest "I'm not going to kill you" scenes I've ever seen in my life.
Which one is that? Because there are more
than
a few.
There were a bunch. I know. No, the scene where she finishes her fight with Jason Isaacs, she's like, "I'm better than you because I'm in the Federation, and that's why we're different, so I'm not going to kill you." And then, of course, Michelle Yeoh stabs him. But the bigger issue is, Michael, you are approximately 2 minutes away from the completion of your plan, having your ship, the Discovery, blow up the city-sized ship he was on. And spoiler alert, you weren't planning to take him with you.
Yeah.
When you blew up that city-sized ship. So, the fact that you think that there's some moral high ground to not shooting him with a phaser, and instead blowing up the ship he's on? No, you're not a better person for that. This is not the right time to be claiming you're a better person, Michael. When you're about to blow him up. It's like, honestly, it's like a Batman situation. "I'm not gonna kill you, Ra's al Ghul. I'm just going to crash the train you were on while after handcuffing you to a railing." Well, that's
so
still murder.
Technically,
it's the train that did it. No, but you're the one who crashed the train, Batman, and you're the one who tied him to the train, Batman. I didn't murder her. I just tied her to the railroad tracks 2 minutes before the train showed up. It's her fault she didn't get out of the chains I tied her to. Oh, by the way, she was also knocked out.
Yeah.
I didn't kill her. It was really her responsibility. It's what I call Jigsaw Killer morality. That's right. I think Batman and the Jigsaw Killer have the same morality. And now, Michael Burnham.
Well, one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah.
Actually, probably my favorite movie of all time is Collateral.
Oh, Collateral's such a good movie.
It's Michael Mann's best work.
No, it is his best film. I don't think there's any competition there. It's
Heat.
One of Tom Cruise's best performances. It probably is Jamie Foxx's best performance. It's just an amazing movie from beginning to end.
Yes, I'm not disputing that. What I'm saying is only Heat can compete with it.
Yeah. Heat's amazing. I love
exactly.
Heat. Yeah, no, Heat's great. I think it's universally beloved. I think Collateral's the better movie, but Heat's incredible. I'm using the sensor and I'm not... Oh, I'm picking up a little something over here. I think there's a spot of blood somewhere. So, like, look around and just start hitting the wall. But irregardless of that... Oh, irregardless. You made it into the dictionary. You shouldn't have, but you did. So now we have to admit you're a word.
Yep.
I'm going to go clean off my mop and then help you try and get this last bit of blood out of here. But yes, we were saying... that the morality's messed up there, but...
It's the same morality as Tom Cruise from Collateral.
It is.
Where he goes, "I didn't kill him. The bullets in the fall killed him."
Such a good line!
Yep.
Oh, God, it's so true. I just like the morale. Honestly, Batman and the Jigsaw Killer. Oh, there it was. Okay, Thank you. Hey, but no corpses parts fell out. So that's good.
Yeah, that's an upside.
That's a nice change, yeah?
Yep.
But anyway, like, I just like that, apparently, according to the Batman, the Jigsaw, Tom Cruise from Collateral, unless you actually... Got it, found the blood. Unless you actually wrap your hands around someone's throat and choke the life out of them, you're technically not murdering them.
Yeah.
Seems to be how that works.
Yeah,
anything
the general
else,
consensus
you come up with a justification.
It's okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so I just thought that was one of the silliest "I'm not going to murder you" scenes ever, when it's like, you're literally, your whole plan is to blow up the ship he's currently on. And you're not going to take him or any of his people off of it. So yeah, you're going to murder him. Which is fine. He's a bad guy. He deserves to go. You should have killed Michelle Yeoh too. But, that's a question for another time.
That's a lot of blood you left there.
I know, I saw it.
Yeah.
But I got the blood off the ceiling, and that's what counts. Turns out that thing does not work when it's not on a level surface, so I couldn't extend it while I was on the stairs. I kind of had to jump and swab to get the ceiling. Ceiling seems clean over here. No more drop pads, so that's good. Yeah, I think we might be good. Might be.
All right. But the thing that bothered me the most, like, the entire season, I think that the mirror episode universe, like, the mirror universe episodes were the most redeeming.
Oh, yeah.
They made people do things.
Yeah, and it was action-packed. They had a really clear goal they were trying to achieve.
As compared to just wandering around.
And working on mad science and, like, not really having, like, clear... There would be from episode to episode, every now and then something useful would happen. Like, they would get captured and they'd have to free Lorca and introduce Tyler and, you know, then they'd do a Groundhog Day episode. But really, like, there wasn't this narrative push like you feel you needed. Right? And the Mirror Universe really had that. And then it's kind of like the last 2 episodes felt like I don't know how to describe this exactly. Like they let all of the air out of the room.
Yes. Well, part of it is the sensation I describe it as is okay, shit, we forgot we had 2 more episodes. Let's do something with Space Hitler.
Yeah, and we've still got to wrap up this whole war storyline in 2 episodes.
Well, it's also the fact that, you know, they're running around and she's like, okay, Georgia, I'm not going to kill you. I'm like, she just tried to blow up a planet.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, I get why she tried to blow up a planet, and it was with Starfleet's approval, but letting her out doesn't seem like the best plan.
There's so much wrong with those last 2 episodes.
Yeah.
So much.
But there's a bunch right, too, because Clint Howard was on.
Double pissing Klingon.
Oh, I loved Clint Howard so much.
Who's that?
Clint Howard! You know, Ron Howard's little brother. Ron Howard's baby brother.
What character did he play?
He played the bald Orion guy, the drug dealer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Now I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, Clint Howard. He's the best. So entertaining. He was the ice cream man in the movie of the same name. No, but Clint Howard was fantastic. He, of course, played the baby in the Corbomite Maneuver episode of Star Trek, the original series.
I did not know that.
As a nod to the fans, they brought him back. Yeah. No, he and Ron Howard have been acting literally like since they were 1 year old. Like they've both acted their entire lives. Yeah, he was the baby in that classic episode of Star Trek where the baby alien pretends to be a scary green-headed alien. And then, you know, they go through that whole trick to try and bluff him into letting them go, which he does. And then it turns out it wasn't a scary monster alien, it was an adorable superpowered baby alien all along. And it's Clint Howard with an adult's voice dubbing it in. It's a weird episode of Star Trek, but it's a lot of fun. Like, it's actually a pretty good episode of the show. They introduce essentially a new kind of second-in-command character, like who's weirdly highly ranked, just so he can run off and stay on the alien ship at the end to learn more about other cultures. Because they need someone to learn a lesson about not being xenophobic. But they can't do that with any of their existing character, because then they would lose a character. So they kind of have to bring someone in just to learn that lesson. But yeah.
I'm getting a really hard hit over here.
Really? I'll come and look with you. Where are you? Okay, where is it? Oh, okay, I saw a spike.
Right over here.
Yeah.
Like on top of this machine.
I'm going to swab the floor around the machine, and then we'll go to the top of the machine. I'm going to jump on top of the... Oh, wait, I just realized something.
What?
Did we ever move the case? No, I thought there might be blood under the case, but there wasn't. All right, forget it. So yeah, the last 2 episodes, they try to wrap up the whole... And they do it as well as they can, but it's... you know, kind of awkward trying to wrap up the entire war in 2 episodes by just putting a bomb under Kronos.
Yeah.
Although, as we learned from Star Trek 6, blowing up Kronos would have the effect of crippling the Klingon Empire. and forcing them to a negotiation table.
Unfortunately, what you're thinking of is blowing up Praxis.
Yeah, but that was a moon next to Kronos.
Yeah.
I'm saying that we have yes, it was called Praxis. It was a moon of Kronos, but the fact is, it's safe to say that that kind of huge disaster at their homeworld would have the effect of making them stop fighting a war. So she wasn't wrong. I do like the note that the evil world Discovery got destroyed the second they landed in our universe because they were not expecting Klingons to be formidable threats.
Wow.
They had so wiped out what happened.
No, I'm up here and I'm just fiddling around.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just like they had assumed Klingons were nothing, and they had no idea that Klingons had stealth technology, had the ability to cloak ships, anything like that. I thought that was very entertaining. That they massively underestimated Klingons because Klingons were completely subjugated in their reality, and so they got wiped out immediately upon landing. Oh, poor evil Discovery. And I think all of the Mirror Universe stuff, it had a good pacing. It had a couple of fun episodes in there. It had a pretty good resolution. And obviously they can bring back good Lorca if they need him next year. I wonder who's going to play Christopher Pike. I'm very curious about that.
I am morbidly curious about that as well, but...
Like, who's going to play Christopher Pike? Who's going to play Spock? Because this is canon-wise set within like a year of the menagerie.
Well, here's the thing. As we've seen, they totally ignore canon in every respect.
You know that's not true. I mean, they've completely changed the technology.
Prove me wrong.
No. Okay, what about everything with the Defiant? That's all straight out of canon, every piece of it.
Okay.
Every piece of stuff with the Defiant is straight out of canon, so you can't say they're completely ignoring
Klingons. Because really, that's the ultimate rejoinder to whatever you say.
Yes, I know. It's hilarious. But the point is, no, they care to a certain extent about canon, or else they wouldn't have done all of that stuff with the Defiant. You know, they care to a certain... I'm not saying they're slavish to it, but at the same time, obviously, they care about it to a certain extent, because they've got the Defiant, they've got Christopher Pike. We know Spock's going to be the
XO?
No, he was the science officer. The XO was number 1.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, you're right.
Yeah, Majel Barrett was the XO, and then they're like, you can't have... And then the network literally said to him, you can't have a woman being second in command of a starship! And so that's why she had to just play a nurse on the show. Yes. Okay, every single thing. Why can't I lock the lid of this thing? Because every single thing flew out of it. That was very embarrassing. But yeah, I thought it was a nice touch, right?
Yeah.
That having the Enterprise show up, Captain Pike. We've got. Will they go for someone who looks like him? Will it be stunt casting? You know, like is it someone who's just going to be there for an episode and then he's going to get irradiated? Well, no, he doesn't get irradiated for a while, like because he was. And that's the interesting thing. Like, I don't know exactly where in the timeline he gets irradiated. Because I don't think Kirk got the Enterprise because something happened to Pike.
I know. That's exactly what happened.
Are you sure?
Reasonably. I'm going with my gut on this
I
one.
would have to watch the Menagerie again, because I remember him being, like, surprised that Pike's in a wheelchair.
Yeah, he's surprised that Pike's in a wheelchair.
But, I mean, it's like, if you only got the ship because a guy got crippled in, like, a radiation leak... I feel like you would not be surprised that he was in a wheelchair. I think Pike just got reassigned and he got the ship, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I suspect so, because, I mean, you're definitely wrong about liking this show. This show is...
that's
like,
very...
There's so much... There's so many logical inconsistencies.
Oh, absolutely.
And flat out, like... It's like they picked up a cod and just started slapping canon in the face with it over and over and over again.
That's true. That's true. I'm not going to say that it is 100%, but I'm going to say
it's
that
barely 5 to 10%.
Okay, but all right, I'm not debating with you that this does not in any way. Although, frankly, I mean, if you're talking about, we have to set aside all the technology stuff because Enterprise already did that, and they tried to do it in the most, and they tried to say they weren't in the most embarrassing way possible. Which is they're like, we have these futuristic, this crazy futuristic technology ships, but then 100 years from now, everyone is going to be like pressing crystals on a dashboard.
Yeah.
To make things go.
Beyond the mycelium drive,
yeah,
I don't have any issues with the technology. They've been good about it.
And I will say, I think the conclusion of the mycelium drive is going to be like it's too risky to use this energy. Because we found out that trying to power a giant ship with the energy has the the possibility to wipe out reality. Yep. I think once word of that gets around, they're going to have to give up their research into powering ships using the mycelium drive because of the dangers it poses to existence.
I'm going to have to say hard no, because what was every single Romulan ship powered by?
I don't know.
A singularity drive. They created a micro black hole.
Yeah, they did.
These people, no fucks given.
Yeah. Although a micro black hole is not the kind of danger that
there are at
up
least
the forces.
I know there's
because you can reliably blow
There's 2 episodes on TNG for sure that discuss this. One DS9.
Yeah, about the dangers of it.
Yeah.
I know it is an incredibly dangerous technology the Romans are using. You're absolutely right. But it's not as dangerous as the mycelium drive wiping out all of reality. Like a singularity drive is dangerous. Micro black holes are dangerous, but they can't do huge damage to all of reality. You can just, screw up a planet. Oh my god. But yeah, I thought that was... It really found its focus in those episodes. The last 2 weren't very great. But I'm going to say, as like, looking back on the season, I'm really, like... I think the biggest problem the show has, and the biggest problem the show has always had, is Michael. Like, it's a character that doesn't really work. And it's just, we're not really there for her.
I stand by my assessment at the beginning and midpoint of the season, where she was supposed to be at least 2 separate characters.
That they shoehorn together,
Yeah.
And I hope what they learn between season 1 and season 2 is, guess what? A Star Trek show doesn't need a main character.
Yes.
And if they can figure that out and just stop trying to make the show about her, I think you could have something here in the second season. Because I like the rest of the cast. I loved Jason Isaacs right up until he got killed. Although, again, he can come back.
So far, most of my reason for watching the show was Jason Isaacs being like a redeeming feature. I will admit,
good.
I did enjoy the second half of the season much more
than the first half, as I predicted you would. I thought that it was going to be fun. I thought it was a fun move taking them to the alternate dimension. It really worked for the show narratively.
Like, the last 2 episodes are like...
They're not great.
No, they're like the last minute 45 of the Punisher TV show.
I know. Oh.
And that's
the Punisher TV show. But it was stretched out to 90 minutes, It's problematic. But at the same time, I think we've got a good place for it. They're on solid footing. Tilly's great. Saru is great. Stamets is great.
I love
Stamets. All of those guys. He's so much fun. Oh my god, he's so entertaining, especially now that he's gone crazy.
Yeah.
He's extra entertaining. And how much fun was evil Stamets?
He was pretty fun.
He was great. Like, the evil him was even more entertaining than the regular him. I loved that. And he's just like, I love that he ran out, I liked Jason Isaacs like, well, you know what? I'm never going to be able to trust you. You've outlived your usefulness.
We're done here. Yeah.
We're done here. Shoots him. Oh, that was beautiful.
And
it was a nice touch, and it was a nice wrap up for that character's little tiny bit of screen time.
We do have something much better to look forward to.
What's that? Oh yeah, the Tick's coming back next week.
Not next week.
Oh, is it tomorrow?
Friday. Yes.
Oh, Friday. Okay. So just say yes when I say tomorrow.
Sorry, I've sort of lost track of the days.
Oh, no, that's totally fair. All right, go. But yeah, no, we're going to be back next week to talk about the Tick and how the Tick is the best show ever, and just what an amazing accomplishment it was. We did a show about the Tick, but it got destroyed accidentally by science. So that's why we all record these full screen, and it hurts the visual quality a bit, but I don't think that matters. But yeah, Star Trek Discovery massively improved the second half of the season. If the second season can figure out that Star Trek shows don't need a main character, that it's about an ensemble cast, and they stop focusing so much on her, I really think they could have something next year.
It could be even mediocre.
Well, it's already. I would rewatch any of the episode of this, almost any episode of this, over literally any episode of Voyager. There's no episode of Voyager I would watch before watching any random episode of Star Trek.
Okay, let's pair you off. The Hirogen two-parter, where they turn the ship into an enormous holodeck, versus the last 2 episodes of this season.
No, okay, yeah, you win that one. I can't say that there's none, but it's close to none. Star Trek Voyager, you were the worst show.
Yeah.
All right. So
we have a trivia question.
Oh, we have a trivia question. I love these. Hit me.
Okay. So are we going on a spy kick?
Definitely spy trivia question.
Okay. I want you... Now, this is going to be super obscure, so I'm going to kick in on this one.
Okay.
If you get this one...
Wow.
If you get this one, I'm pitching in Dark Souls 2 and 3.
Oh my god! For PC, right?
For PC, because PC
that's
Master
one.
Race.
Yeah, no, of course, yeah. That is going to be one hell of a. Oh, I'm very excited to see what this quiz is now.
Name me the 3 characters from The Night Manager which are recurring in Le Carré's other work.
Okay, well, I know one right off the top.
Oh, sorry, I'm pitching in Dark Souls 3. Dark Souls 3 Ashes of Arendelle. If I have 2, I will kick it in. Yeah.
But you may not have 2, but you definitely have 3 in the DLC.
Yes.
Okay, good. So we're that's the full package of Dark Souls 3, but you're gonna have to go for the other one. I can definitely name one, but I'm not gonna help people. That's a really good quiz questions. Now get over here and let's get our final report on our mission.
Okay.
Get over here and sign us out of the mission. You're going the wrong way.
I'm going whatever. I'm going whatever way I want. There it is.
Yeah, I know. It was up the stairs. All right. I can't wait to find out how we did. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Give us the good word. Kaboom!
Nice.
What? I gotta say, I got a trophy for 100% clean.
Yep.
That's fantastic. Oh, I gotta say, I really feel like this game, if they had a better menu system and HUD and, a couple of things like being able to throw items, if this were tuned up in just a couple of ways, this thing really could have been a hit. Also, more variety in levels, not just spaceships.
Yeah.
But yeah, if there was a menu of the levels telling you how you did on each level and what percentage you missed and stuff like that. If they'd gone that extra bells and whistles degrees with this thing, I think this could have been something. And it doesn't have those extra details that people love in their games. And I think that's too bad, because this is a very impressive game in a lot of ways. So join us back here next week for us talking about the Tick, and of course, more Counterpart and more Counterpart, and more Expanse. Because
all right, so wait. Yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about all those next week. Same bad time, same bad place.
Oh my god. I'm embarrassed for you, but I do approve. I'll see you back here then, but until then, au revoir.